Hello! Hello, 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 hello. Hell. Oh, that was it. Hello. Hi, Kara. How you doing? Are you having a good Wednesday? Doing okay. How was the babysitting yesterday? You have coffee. Nice. Yeah, we just listened to that. Pumping yourself up to draw some SGA stuff. Ooh, nice. Come on, well. Yeah. Hopefully no more stair shenanigans. Was very tired. Yeah, understandable. Whoo. Don't need that. Yeah, hopefully, yeah. Right. Last time. How did Westerado go? It was good. We finished it, and then we finished another game. We finished Westerado. We did find the guy. He then ran away to a hideout, and we had to chase him through it. Good time. What game? Pilgrims. It's a little, charming little sort of try everything on everything kind of narrative card game thing by Amanita, the people who did Bashanarium and stuff. I knew it was a very short game, so I was like, we can fit that in. So we've done that, and yeah, next week we'll start Spooky Season. Love their stuff. Yee. And now, yeah, it's very charming. Very nice. Can recommend. I have been I have been uploading the VODs. I forgot to upload last week's VODs this week. But I did all of those today. I stagger the release day by day so people don't have their sub boxes spammed, but no worries. All the worries. Trying to watch VODs on Twitch is a nightmare. But anyway. Anyway. Last time, we returned from the main story when it ended. Update whenever you want to. Now I want to do it as soon as possible. But yes, we returned from the main story. Queen Helga is dead. Long live the Queen Butterknife. Queen Princess Butterknife. Queen Princess Zorlorlorlda Butterknife. Lose track of these things. And she's doing her queenly things, and Simeon is being sad and bar. We were engaged in a wonderful farce involving a bunch of characters who had a grand old time dropping letters. But it has no relevance to the story, so I won't mention it again. We return to the bar. Rip Helga, long live the Queen Princess Zorlorlda Butterknife. Exactly. We return to the bar where everybody confronts Simeon for being miserable, and he's miserable because he can't see Butterknife. And everyone's like, well, you're an idiot. And Vivi comes in and is like, hey, can we go see the princess? And everyone's like, why can't you be more like Vivi? Vivi knows what he wants. So they go and see the princess. Meanwhile, Nox and Knuckles find one another, having never met before. And they start a fight, and Simeon comes in and breaks it up and is like, hey, you two, we're gonna go see the princess. You wanna come? So we do. Vivi best boy, yee. We then go and see the princess. The queen. Queen to be, the Butterknife. And it's very much a separated affair. The queen can't mingle with random people now. So she waves from a balcony and says hello and all that sort of stuff. Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, Quimch's eyes can just rotate or detach or whatever. I'm not entirely sure how that works. Quimch is always facing the camera. But Yeah, so everyone sort of looks up at her, and a brief conversation happens, and Simeon doesn't say anything because he's 16 years old. They're always watching. However, Professor Pretty Present, who recently met Betty, asks Betty if she can answer some questions, because he's very interested in the up until now believed to be mythical village of the Summoners, Medainsari, which she comes from. And he wants to ask her a bunch of questions. And so they go to Trino and to his little office, for want of a better word, to answer some questions. And everybody else decides to also go to Trino because, yeah, why not? Meanwhile, Alexander and March are on lookout in Alexandria, looking after things, making sure the place is safe. And Frick and Frack try and sneak in to see if they can get their old job back, but alas, they are hindered by the wonderful search capabilities of our good friends from Tantalus. Anyway, in Trino, we discover that Knuckles is a wanted man and somewhat feared among the underworld of Trino as being a wanted man, but having been discovered with a small child, people are like, maybe we could take advantage of this. And somebody, this doesn't make any sense anymore, but what this previously looked like was somebody trying to kidnap Betty in order to extort Knuckles, not realizing that Knuckles couldn't care less. Luckily, Quimch saved the day, though, so that's good. There they are. Quimch saving the day. Da, 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 da. We also get a little conversation between Nox and Knuckles regarding Knuckles' sort of origin story, as it were, with regards to why he's after Zidane, or why he wanted to sort of follow Zidane and all, not Zidane, Simeon and all that stuff. And the answer being that he used to work as a security guard at the auction house here, until one day Simeon stole something from the auction house, and basically, off the cuff, having been stopped by Knuckles, who basically just wanted a fight, Simeon passed the blame onto Knuckles and ran away. And that's why Knuckles is a wanted man, because he was sort of essentially framed off the cuff by Simeon, and now he wants revenge, but he's sort of realizing slowly but surely that, you know, it was kind of the hot-headedness for a fight was the reason that he, you know, he got into trouble in the first place, because he just left without trying to contest this accusation. He just went, no, I want to punch this person, I'm leaving. A bit of a weird character, but there we are. Quimch jumped off a very, very, very tall platform into the river below because they were very hungry, couldn't find any food that didn't cost money, and thought the reflection of the moon in the water looked like food. Just Quimch, the hashtag just Quimch things. Meanwhile, Kiro's favourite part of the game occurred, which was a card tournament. We beat the card tournament, the last competitor being technically King Fly down here, although by the fact that they are currently an insect, they have L here, who agreed to be the human representative. Best part of the game, Heimas. Kiro loves it. Oh yeah, and we also named the queen because we were reminded that, so the king got here on his prototype airship, the Girl Boss 2, named after his erstwhile wife. Erstwhile? What does the word erstwhile mean? I don't know. Queen Girl Boss, who stole Girl Boss 1 after discovering that King's Fly was unfaithful and turned him into an insect and stole his airship. So he's designed a new one which doesn't run on Mist because Mist doesn't exist anymore. But unfortunately he's an insect, so it's extremely unstable, not very reliable at all. Don't ride it. How you doing, Miss? You alright? You having a good time? Having a good Wednesday? Do you have ice cream? I recommend it. However, after the tournament, it's okay. That's better than not okay. Ice cream good. A banana and chocolate chip muffins. Amazing. Have you eaten all of them? And if not, why not? You got to eat them while they're still warm. That's the thing. My tactic is to just eat the batter and sit in the oven. Saves time. Because I'm one goblin. Not self-respecting goblin doesn't think that they can consume all the muffins. Yeah, embrace the inner goblin, eat all. Embrace the outer goblin as well. Get all goblin. Speaking of goblins, Betty arrives. And says, "Oh my god, but Pistachio just told me there's something's going down at Alexandria. Bad things. We need to get there immediately." And so King Fly is like, "Well, I have my very rickety airship. Everybody get aboard that." So we fly towards Alexandria. Turns out, is there anything on this panel? There is nothing on this layer, so let's get rid of that. Yes, turns out Mr. Swan, he's back, he's in Alexandria, and he's quoting poetry and talking about the princess, now queen. And how he's getting close to his plan reaching fruition and getting a bunch of power, because he wants power. And that he already acquired power, if you remember, because when he was fighting Queen Helga, he managed to convince Bahamut to turn. And guess what? He still got it. So Bahamut turns up and just nukes the city. Well, not nukes. We're not talking clay right here. Just a lot of beams, a lot of laser beams, a lot of fire. Bad stuff. People running, screaming. Not a good night. All things considered. Mega flare and such. Yes, the super mega ultra flare beam. And in order to help the people, we enlist the help of the Knights of Pluto. And you did very well in assigning tasks to each of them. You only got one pair of them the wrong way around. And so Jesse's very happy that you remembered these characters from the first disc. So yeah, they're all off doing things. They're gathering information on what's happening. They're trying to protect the townspeople. They're going to contact Lindblom to get reinforcements, and they're readying the cannons to fire against this new monster. And that's where we left off. It's far too happy a tune for what's happening at the moment, but there we are. However, the Knights of Pluto are not the only guard protecting the city. No. Yes, during all of this, there is no save point. I will tell you when the next save point is. There has not been a save point since before the end of the card game. Yeah, exactly. Right. So, running out. Charging out into the city to protect the people. We, of course, have the two valiant knights of Alexandria. Jesse and James. Because it turns out it's not just Bahamut that's here. There's also a bunch of monsters as well. Running amok. I will say, coupled with Kiro, after the card game, or for me, basically after what I would consider the end of the game, the end of the main story of the game anyway, my memory of events is not great. So I will probably get things in the wrong order over the course of the next third of the game. But, we'll try our best. I can draw. I know how to draw. It's a thing I can do, I believe. I can draw. I know I can draw. My friends, they told me I can draw, but they might just be being nice. Which is why I also replaying it. I replayed it like recently, a couple of weeks ago, and I'm still like, what order did anything happen? Which goes to show you just how important those the things that happen are. If we can't really remember why they happen in any particular order. It also doesn't help that about 50% of my playthrough was Chocobo shenanigans. There's also a Chocobo minigame in this game, and I play it a lot. Quack, quack, quack! Why am I doing that with just your hand? I wanted the whole head. Used to play it a lot and got to try again, haven't it, in a while. It's good on the Steam version because you have 4 times or 3 times speed up or whatever it is, but the timer doesn't count down 3 times as fast, and you get a lot of bonus points for finishing early. You do, however, have to control a Chocobo at 3 times speed and get it in the precisely right location. Trickier than it seems. No frickin' frack, you're not allowed in. You're playing that version of the game on Switch, and yeah, controlling things during the speed up mode is very difficult. It's the one time I've actually found the walk button in an RPG useful, because actually controlling where your character's going at 4 times speed or whatever. I know how to draw. Yeah, and you, so these two are running out into the city, and you get to control them, and you fight monsters as both of them. So technically, Jessie is a party member, albeit extremely briefly. She has a cool sword called Save the Queen. You get to use all of those overpowered abilities that she had when you fought her earlier. You never did beat her, but all those overpowered abilities that she had, you can now use them. I guess you could have used them during the escape earlier. Whatever, it's fine. You can use them properly now. And the two of them fight side by side and back to back and fighting all those big Final Fantasy X monsters. Let me draw one of them quickly. Mr. Ons? Mr. Lons? Captain Scarlet? Your memory of this third of the game might be garbage, but you think you remember why your brother was so frustrated over not having float during a certain part, and you're so glad your paranoid took over and you took the time to teach them all that move and also leveled up everyone. Lamau. Yeah. Also admit you gave James all the strong stuff you had for him rather than keep him learning whatever he was already learning because it was not doing that card tournament again. Yeah. Anyway, so you fight a bunch of these things in the street. And hey, do you remember a thing that we said like right at the beginning of the game? There's a thing called trance. Now, if you've been playing the game, trance will just sort of happen occasionally. But in terms of the story, last time this happened was when Vivi was on the airship with the Black Waltz, and the Black Waltz killed all the Black Mages, and Vivi went like super rage mode. Trance is a sort of magical state of power that you can get into in strong emotion. And with these two fighting side by side, James gets into a state of very strong emotion because he's got a crush on Jessie. And so he gets big old trance mode, and he gets like a big old suit of armor with, I mean, I honestly can't remember anything else that changes. There's other stuff that changes, but he gets a big old suit of armor. And he goes all pink and purple and glowy. What? Since when? I know, right? So yeah, he goes all, ah! And she's like, oh. Shocked Pikachu face. Shocked Jessie face. So yeah, heightened emotion, exciting times, battles, and so on and so forth. Meanwhile, the Queen Princess, the Quincy, in the castle. How exactly does this happen? Did she hear something? Can't remember. She's in the castle and something strange happens, and she's like, "What is that?" And she runs up to the top of the castle onto a balcony at the top. Yeah, there's some sort of strange noise or something happening. I'm not going to give this balcony railings, which is probably a safety issue. But frankly, given what happens in a bit, doesn't matter. If she heals or feels something pulling her, there's some sort of mystical thing happening. She's like, what is this? And she climbs up to the top of the castle, sort of overlooking everything behind the big sword that's stuck into the castle. I still don't know why. It looks cool, I guess. How much metal did that take to make? And she comes up, and there's nothing really here. It was nighttime, so she was in her pajamas. That's what we discussed. Yes. And she's like, I don't know what to do. My kingdom's being destroyed. What's happening? I'm there. Wait, I just remembered something that... Honestly, it's not relevant, but it is kind of relevant. I'll explain what I missed when things happen. It probably... Yeah, you could take it out of the story and it wouldn't really matter, but I guess it is also relevant to what's happening. She runs up the stairs, she passes by a few suits of armor on the stairs, and as she passes each pair of armor, they drop their swords and block their way back, which is totally fine and normal. Yeah, don't worry about it. It's perfectly normal. But while she's standing there, in the dark, thing. Kushwoom and Kushwimmer. Her necklace, what's it called? The falcon claw, falcon hoof, raven claw. Falcon claw, yes. The thing, what she has on her neck, what was the thing that is the family jewel that the queen wanted, starts glowing and shimmering and sparkling. And it's like, oh, what is that? This is weird. Meanwhile, several hundred feet in the air, bobbing up and down on an incredibly rickety airship, because it was made by an insect. We have our party heading from Trino to Alexandria to see what the ruckus is all about. And they see Bahamut. This is fine. I'm gonna have to remember what's the order of things happen in this bit.
Bahamut.
Okay, so Bahamut. Yeah, Bahamut's wreaking havoc and all that sort of stuff, and everyone's looking down on it like, oh no.
Cthulhu's friend Bahamut.
Cthulhu's friend Bahamut. They're friends.
I won't be able to open the doors. They're tightly sealed.
Oh no! Tightly sealed, you say? Hey, Jeeb! How you doing?
The lock on the store is broken.
Ah, and a duck. Many friends. How are we all doing? We having a good Wednesday? Is a good Wednesday being had? The story so far for people. Jesse and James have come out to defend Alexandria from the attack of monsters and Bahamut. And in the process, James gets very emotionally charged and goes all trance and to protect Jesse because he's got a crush. Meanwhile, the princess is like, I don't know what to do, and then runs up to the top of the castle for mysterious purposes. And when she's there, oh, her pendant glows. Strange, shimmering, shining stuff. RPGs was called off again, but you're full of mac and cheese and pizza. All the best things. Nutritionally diverse. Good stuff. Meanwhile, the rest of our party are on the way back to Alexandria from Trino on a rickety ship built by an insect, which might crash at any minute, because would you trust a ship built by an insect? I wouldn't. Yeah, hopefully your GM feels better soon. Spent 2 hours trying to get rid of ladders and stuff. They're like cockroaches. They will not leave. How was Jeeb's day? You're a little tired? Oh no. What Or would they not let you pick a ladder place? Your neck's hurting and you don't know what to do about it. Oh no. Adulthood. Everything hurting. Do you not want a ladder in front of a door game? Why not? You can get in and up at the same time. Door ladder. Lador. Nor from Mini's quarters into cargo from next to her bed. My brain thought it had a pun there, but it didn't. Maybe cargo is where you keep breakfast. Makes sense? Like Wallace and Gromit, right? You fall through the hatch straight to breakfast. And you do get the ladder where you want one, there's no door from that room, which defeats the point of it. Hashtag well-polished game. Have a mess hall for that. Well, it'd be nice to have a clean room, you know. Anyway. Things. So yes, everybody's like, oh no, what's going on? What's happening? Meanwhile, also at night, but little Betty's emblem, the whatever it was that she got from the village that she was trying to protect, and then it got stolen, and then we got it back. Whatever that is, that glows as well. And she's like, oh no! Important things are happening. I know what I have to do. What does she have to do? Very simple. She has to jump off the ship. Whoop, there it goes. She's dead now. Anyway. Yeah, and everyone's like, what? Leap into the water. I mean, she's like several hundred feet in the air. You were kidding. She's not. She's a kid, but she don't kid. She does kid. And what ends up happening oh, faces in profile, bugger. Death from floor. Yeah, she just yeets herself off the ship. By the way, Kira, if I'm telling any of this out of order, do let me know, because I'm very much winging it. And what happens is she free falls through the air because the wings on her back are purely decorative. As far as you can remember anyway. It's a lot. There are some things I'm not entirely sure of the order, but we'll get there. You know what, that'll do. But as she falls, her special pendant glowing, she falls towards the princess, special pendant also glowing. Oh, it's just started raining. Quite heavy, let me know if it's too much. Whose arms are ripped out of their sockets? No! She does not catch her. She hits the ground and dies. No. You know, there might be a storm going on, actually. Supposed to have a storm. Because magic or something. No, just rain. Pendant uses, not Featherfall. It's yeah, something like that. It casts Auto Float. But yeah, we have the glowing of the princess pendant, and also the glowing of Betty's pendant, and they arrive, and then there's a big ol' reaction that happens between the two of them, with lots of weird concentric circles and things. Kushwum, kushwum. Exciting times, and she sort of floats in the air. She sort of comes to a floating halt. When do we meet the plastic surgeon who removed the princess's horn? I think Professor Preddy did that? Could be wrong. Professor Preddy talks about it. I think he says the king had it removed, but I don't think he said he did it. Might be wrong. Professor isn't a real qualification. Well, it's somebody who professes, right? They're not a practical person. They're not going to be hands-on in a surgical procedure. They profess. Yeah, anyway, that happens. But what is the effect of this? Well, if we go back to this scene. I think, I know, hang on. But yeah, when this is happening, Betty tells Butterknife what this is about. Because, if you recall, Betty's hesitation to join our party originally was that she wasn't 16. And when you turn 16, the Eidolon who's sort of looking over you grants you their power, grants you their abilities or whatever. And it's like, I will now manifest and I will protect you. You can now summon me, etc. Because every summoner has their own sort of like personal Eidolon. What to summon. Doctor doesn't always mean doctor. Love you, Dr. Zed. What do you mean? He's a fully qualified something or other. But yeah, so Betty was reluctant at first to join, what with not being 16 and not having this special special eidolon to protect her and all that sort of stuff. However, it was recently Princess Zorloralda Butterknife's 16th birthday. And before she could have the opportunity to work out who her eidolon was, she had them all taken away from her and used for genocide. But now all of the stones have aligned and things are happening. Doctor also isn't a real qualification. Can confirm, as one myself, can confirm. Dr. Zed's a real doctor in your heart, and that's all that matters. So he's a heart doctor. That's the wrong kind of line. So what ends up happening is Butterknife gets her eidolon, which is as big as a sodding castle. I cannot draw them accurately because I don't know what they look like in this game. There's a lot happening in this cutscene. But they are here to protect. Well, they have big old wings. Big old, like, angel wings. Which they use to protect the town and the city and the castle. Completely covering them. Yes, and it also fires holy rockets from its weird pauldron. I always think of this as just basically a walking castle. It's a weird design for a thing. It's called Alexander. And it's here to protect Alexandria. Who'd have thought? So yeah, Bahamut, you think you're all clever now? It's got, by the way, it's like proper like angel wings, big white wings. I personally think it's a bit dangerous to be hovering over a giant sword sticking out of a castle, but anyway. Yeah, it's just a mech. It's basically a mech, right? That's a good description. That's why you asked early on if we were renaming the Eidolons too, yeah. But nah, they're MacGuffins, they're not characters. So yeah, a brief fight emerges between Alexander and Bahamut, but it's clear that Alexander has the protect and also the Metal Gear ammunition. Got a railgun. Metal Gear. So hurrah, we have the upper hand. However, Mr. Swan over here is like, aha, Alexander, you show your face. Finally. I thought you'd never appear. Time for the finale. And then, this picture keeps zooming out. The hand is upper. From the clouds above. Can you see where this is going? Is that actually a statue or just Quimch on a podium? It might be. I mean, Quimch jumped in a river. That was the last time we saw them, and they might still be there. They might have popped back and stood on a podium for fun. Quimch is always here, in our heart. It's raining quite heavily. Yeah, Alexander shoots a bunch of beams from its wings and seems to kick Bahamut's ass. Very much Alexander is winning this fight. And protecting the city and all that sort of stuff. But again, Mr. Swan appears not to be perturbed by this, for he casts his hands to the sky, and wouldn't you know it, an eye emerges. with its strange targeting reticule. And this was the thing that took over Bahamut in the first place. If you zoom in on any of the game's art, you'll find a tiny quimch there. They're like spores. Every tiny quimch will eventually grow up to become a whole quimch. Given enough crumbs. In this world, when you finished a meal, any crumbs on your plate, you just brush them on the floor. And all the tiny quimches will come along and clean it up. What was I saying? Yes, the eye. The eye comes. And it sets its sights on Alexander as it did set its sights on Bahamut in the first place. However, we cut, not to you, we cut to a strange room. Very strange looking, oddly high-tech room. So they tell the kids in this world, finish your plate or you suddenly find a grown-up quinch in your kitchen. Oh no! That's better, I like that. There's a person here. You have a long bit? I don't know. That's why you should eat your veggies. Otherwise, Quimps will come along and eat all of your food. And this person is looking into a big red sort of glowing thing in the middle of this room. And says a lot of things that don't really make sense. I'm trying to work out what things, trying to remember what things he says. But something along that he talks about Mr. Swan. He talks about Mr. Swan and he's like, oh, Mr. Swan, you've gone too far now. Well, his beard's not that long, I've just remembered, because we have to see the big glowing sphere in his chest. I don't know why he has a big glowing sphere in his chest, but he does. A lot of this doesn't make sense for a little. You remember what you're saying here. Yeah, he talks about he talks about Mr. Swan, and it says, you know, you've gone too far, and you had one job, and you've been there too long. You've been on Gaia too long, and now I must take the invincible away. And just referencing a lot of weird things. That I don't mind not remembering properly, because none of them will make sense even if I did remember them. But he's wearing very strange, sort of, again, sort of almost futuristic armor, kind of. I think he might have a cape, actually. I wasn't gonna have him T-posing, but now I will. Gee. Yeah, he's like dressed in all this weird, like all black costume with white hair and big red cape, I think, probably. Yeah, and he's basically saying enough of this. A name for them would be nice. And no, you get no more context than this. Goldo. Aside from the big red orb, the whole area is pretty dark. Yeah. Goldo? Is that a reference to something? Terrible Power Rangers villain. Fair enough. Goldo it is. Nope, first answers only. Goldo. Although I'm sure they'll get the nickname as time goes on. I mean, we'll never meet this character again. They'll just arrive in the story and leave. Yeah. And we cut back to... well, no, we cut back here. And... rather than spray with a weird purple light everywhere like it did with Bahamut, the eye just sort of retreats. Bye. Back up into the clouds. And Mr. Swan's like, what? This is not the plan. Why is it not working? Alexander, you're supposed to be... Is that Goldo? Is Goldo interfering with me? Wouldn't have thought he'd come here. Still, I have other means. Anyway, bye, and then just leaves. He was like, well, that's not my plan. Bahamut, continue your dealings. Is that what happens? No, something does happen to Alexander. So again, I can't even, like, this is like a huge set piece thing, and I still can't remember what happens. Does something happen to Alexander? I think so. Or does something happen to both of them? Yeah, but you can't. Like, me and Kiro both played this recently, and we can't remember. Well, we know the rules. If we can't remember what happens, we have to make it up. The ice shoot it? Possibly. Yeah, that makes sense. But then how does this fit in with the story? Okay, so we're going to have to do it. Yeah, we're going to have to do it in a... Okay, I've worked it out. It's fine. Right, so while this is all happening, our friends in the rickety airship arrive. And they get to the castle, and they're like, we've got to find the queen. And also the small girl who just jumps off the ship. Gotta find butter knife, etc., etc. And they run up. And they run up the same way that the princess ran up, because you're playing them as well, and you know where to go. I don't know why they would know where to go, but whatever. That or Butter Knife and Betty overexerted themselves. There's something's going on. I'm gonna say blasted, but we'll get there in a sec. So they run up to try and find what's going on and where everyone is and all that sort of stuff. And they get to a sort of midpoint, and there's I should have specified, in order to get to the top of the castle, a bunch of like staircases just appear at the top of the castle that weren't there before. They like rise up out of some weird contraption. It's very strange. Again, not sure why, just sort of happens. But anyway, we get to the bottom of these staircases. And after coming all this way, Simeon turns around to the rest of the group and goes, "No, you lot, leave. You lot get to safety. I will take it from here." And everyone else is like, what on earth are you talking about? We literally just flew here on an airship. It's during this bit that we can finally save, yes. On the way up, we can find a Moogle in a room. Who I'm going to assume immediately leaves. Oh, there was something I forgot to mention. Okay, I'll add it here. Anyway, so yeah, Simeon turns around and he's like, I'll take it from here. I will save the princess and Betty because I'm so annoyed at myself for not being able to say how I truly feel to her that I'm going to take it upon myself to be the hero in this situation. And everyone else is just sort of... and he gives a little spiel about, you know, how he truly feels, and he needs to express how he truly feels to her, but this isn't the end. This can't be the end because he needs to express himself, etc., etc. 16-year-old. But my favorite bit about this scene, and the reason that I'm drawing it rather than just saying it, is that the first person to quite happily walk away from this situation is Knuckles. Because he listens to the spiel about love and connecting and needing to express oneself, and you know, you would willingly sacrifice your life just to tell the one you love how you truly feel about them. And Knuckles says, "Right, I need to vomit now. Bye." It's just like, I'm starting to feel sick with all this. I'm leaving. And I don't know, that just made me laugh. Although, yeah, I'm gonna go. Wait, no, sorry. Big hands. Yeah, you can't deal with 16-year-old in love. Too saccharine. Yeah, and yeah, everyone else agrees to leave and get to safety. And Simeon runs up the stairs and he finds the two of them there, doing their thing. I'm doing a lot of profile work today, apparently. Honestly, though, I have a much easier time with the hair in profile. It seems. That's how eyes work. Yeah, and he arrives, and I don't. Does he actually express his emotions here? I can't remember. I don't know. 16-year-old's enough. But anyway, as this is happening, the eye, what was gonna do the purple beam thing, doesn't do the purple beam thing. It does a big old explodey beam thing. And it takes out Bahamut and Alexander. Just like boom, destroys both of them, which was not in the plan of Mr. Swan. It was also not in the plan of the castle that's under Alexander at the time, because the castle under Alexander at the time gets Independence Day'd. Big boom. Yeah, I don't think. I'm going to assume he doesn't have time to properly express himself. Big boom. Can't believe I forgot about this. Anyway. So yeah, before a touching reunion can occur, there's a big boom, and they're like, "Oh my god, bad times." But yeah, I don't think he has the chance. But and like all the stonework starts crumbling away in the balcony, and they just start slipping. Oh god, and they fall off, and Simeon's like, "Oh no, I will save you," and then he jumps off, and then oh no, they both jump. They all jump to their doom. Everything's bad and horrible, and how could they possibly get out of this? But then the writers remembered something that happened at the beginning of the game. Swing on the bunting. Do you remember this? Monkey Boy swings them to safety, or swings Butter Knife to safety anyway. Betty dies. He explodes into a big fireball, never to be seen again. Now she's on her own rope. And they swing to safety from the explosion. Presumably, I don't think we actually see it. Anyway, they swing to something relatively approximating safety from the explosion. There's a big explosion anyway. Independence Day. Pfft. Bad time. It's the only thing I know about Independence Day, apart from the fact that it's a running joke in our family. Because my dad got Independence Day on VHS one year for Christmas, and every time we were like, oh, you know, let's watch something. Oh, we got the VHS of Independence Day, and every time we said that, we just never watched it, and so it became a running joke of whenever we had free time, it's like, what are we gonna do? Well, there's Independence Day. Yeah, they swing for the castle, but everything's crumbling around them. Fade to black, exactly. So we're not entirely sure of the fate of these. These friends attempting to swing to safety. But they embrace mid-swing, and that's all that matters for the sake of storytelling. Yeah, and the castle goes kaboom. Bad stuff. What happens now? We wake up. Oh no, there's the thing that I forgot. Sorry. Thing I forgot to mention about our trip back to Alexandria. Is that Muffin's here? Here to sell more muffins to help with their trip. And also another Moogle is here. You can give them a name if you want, although I probably won't mention them again because this is just a side quest thing, what you can do. But do you remember how we've been going around and delivering all the post for the Moogles because their mail system is buggered? Well, this is the person who's supposed to be in charge of the mail system, the Mognet. This is the Moogle who's supposed to be in charge of it. And their name is Toast. Toast. And they're a little apprehensive for you to remark on their appearance. They're purple. And they're like, no, I don't look weird. It's fine. I didn't do anything. So it turns out the reason that the postal system is in disarray is because Toast decided to use the industrial lubricant that made all of the machinery work to make their hair all slick. So that they look cool. And now all of the machines have locked up. They thought they'd look cool. And they do, to be fair. But anyway, yes, Toast and Muffin, they're here. And they get out fine. Don't worry, they're not caught up in the explosion. Moogles are invincible. We know this. Yes. Anyway, we wake up. We wake up in a bed. And by we, I mean Simeon wakes up in a bed. Not in Alexandria, because let's face it, there's not an awful lot left of it. But in another city where there's not an awful lot left of it. We're in Lindblom. We wake up in the castle in Lindblom. in what appears to be a very small bed. We were knocked unconscious for a while. And we were saved, I believe, by March. You know, return in the favor. Yeah, the Mughals are fine. Love you, March. Yeah. I forgot. I thought after you rescued him from the forest, I thought he just never cropped up again. Turns out he's integral to quite a lot of the rest of the plot. He just keeps, like, fixing all the problems. So yeah, I'll keep Alexandria safe. Yeah, I'll rescue you from the rubble. Yeah, I'll do. Good old March. But anyway, yes, we wake up in this bed and we're like, where are we? What has it been? And I think it's been like a few days. We've been unconscious, something like that. But everyone made it out all right. Betty's fine. Princess is here. All grand. But we're in Lindblom, obviously, because Alexandria got blued up. Always glad to see March. Solving all our problems is... Yeah, Alexandria is now a crater or something. Certainly the castle is. The town is in need of repair, but... You know, still mostly there. March is our MacGuffin. March is the walking MacGuffin. March Guffin. That's like a weird challenge where you have to eat beans all through March. Anyway. Stuff and things and bits. We wake up here. And we're told everyone's fine and we're going to have a little meeting about the fact that Alexandria got blowed up. And what we can do about it, because clearly, you know, getting rid of Queen Helga, that has not solved the problem. Like, Mr. Swan really is actually an issue, and we need to find out what's going on with him. Trying to remember the order things happening here again. Simeon needs a problem solved. March is there. Yeah, March is Simeon's guardian angel. Everyone's guardian angel. Also trying to remember. Anyway, I think we go and have a little meeting. Let's see if I can just copy a meeting from before, so it's not really all that important. Hi. Just before this. That'll be useful as well, actually. Did I even bother drawing a meeting from before? That's the closest thing we had to a meeting. So, hi, Helga. Okay, well, I can't copy a meeting from before. I will, however, copy... But that's also a meeting, I guess. Copy that. But anyway, we have a little meeting with the king. And the king basically, you know, says what I've just said. We need to sort out... this Mr. Swan fella, cause he's causing a ruckus. Yeah, they need to find Mr. Swan. However, they have an issue. And that issue is that this Mr. Swan, presumably, isn't on the Mist Continent. And we've searched the bit of the rest of the world that we can get to on foot. But we don't really have access to an airship, because the airship that took us to... that barely managed to take us from Trino to Alexandria got bloated up. So, yeah, we need to explore somehow outside the Mist Continent. Now there is a ship that we can use, so that's the kind of the next plan. Let's try and take a ship and fly, not fly somewhere else, but sail somewhere. However, yeah, he wants to make a new ship, but he can't do it because he's got bug brain. Yeah, but before we can really go into more detail about this plan, Betty, everyone's here. Everyone. Betty comes in. Love that joke. It's not. There's no point drawing everybody here. We know who all the characters are. Nothing's actually happening. They're just talking, which is basically my big bugbear with my work. Is that almost all of it is just people talking in a room. So whatever my next project is, get ready for things to happen in it. So many things you'd like to do, but you can't because you got bug brain. Don't worry though. Maybe the next part of the story can help. But before that, Betty comes in, shouting, screaming like 6-year-olds do. About how there is something wrong with the princess. Probably should also find it, and button. But Knife's also not there. She's been taking time to herself to adjust to the fact that her kingdom just got exploded. But Betty comes in going, "No, there's something wrong with Butter Knife, help!" And so Simeon sort of runs off and goes, everyone tries to find her, and Simeon's like, "Well, I know where to find her." And they go to the place where they had the conversation before about the thing, when they looked through the telescope and had a lovely time, and he tried to ask her out, but then accidentally forgot which girl he was talking to and revealed wrong information, and she got mad at him. So he's an idiot. But this time, different circumstances. He comes up and he tries to talk to her. And he tries to express himself in ways that he couldn't. He's all awkward and it's not quite working, and she's not saying anything back, and it's like, yeah, and he tries to get her to sort of like, come on, say something. And it turns out, no. The trauma of seeing her city get destroyed means that she has completely lost her voice. She can no longer speak. She has no voice. Evidently, I forgot your ponytail in this picture. That's fair. Yeah, she's not taking this well, so she can't speak. And certainly for somebody who uses magic, this is not ideal. Because hey, if you want to get someone to not use magic in a Final Fantasy game, you cast a spell called Silence. But anyway. So yeah, that's a thing to worry about. And obviously Simeon's like, oh no, is she ever going to speak again? Is she ever going to sing again? Am I ever going to hear that song again? I like that song. The one that she sings. Jokes on them, Cuthbert's immune to that. Forgot what battle is like for her during this whole part, and yeah, it's rough. Exactly. So there's just a chance when she tries to cast a spell, she just won't. It just won't work because she can't do the incantation or whatever. Make it all about you, Simeon. He's a 16-year-old. But yeah, according to Professor Preddy Pruzan, he's like, well, this is a temporary thing, it seems. This doesn't look like there's any permanent damage. But we have absolutely no idea when this is going to lift because it's a trauma-based thing, and that's going to take time. Her trance bar is completely missing. I didn't know that. So she can't... No trance. Interesting. She can't concentrate enough. Yeah, that's the thing. So yeah, she's going through some stuff right now. Take a photo of your game if you want. But yeah, it's gone. No, I trust you. I never pay attention to trance anyway, so... because it's not really a good mechanic, but it's in the story. So yeah, Professor Preddy Pruzan's like, yeah, it's like, this is a trauma thing, it's not a physical thing. Hopefully, at some point, it will return, but we don't, it could be tomorrow, it could be in 10 years' time, we don't know. And yeah, Simeon has a bit of a about that. However, we must return to our original plans. Which is that the king's like, right, we before the king talks about the ship. To be fair, you didn't notice right away either, but while the level ability grinding for literal hours, you noticed. That's fair. That's fair. If you're ability grinding, look for the friendly enemy. They give a lot of AP. And also the ragtime mouse, which is not as cute as it sounds. Or does he only give money? I forgot. Anyway. Blah, 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 blah. Yes, so I think before he mentions the ship, he says, okay, we need to make this airship. We need to explore the world properly. I need to make an airship, and I can't all the time. I'm an insect. Professor Preddy Pruzan, you're here now. There he is. You're here now. Do you happen to know any way of turning somebody back into a human from being turned into an insect? And the professor's like, well, sort of. These sorts of spells used to be quite common. And there's written record of, antidotes, but they're largely, just part of stories. They're not really official. This is how the magic works. But there are things we could try. There are ingredients lists and ways of preparing and all these sorts of things, but they're mostly from like folklore rather than actual science. And the king's like, I don't care at this point. We need this bloody ship. What do we need to make this thing? Oh, I forgot. There's another scene that happens that's quite sweet. Okay, so rewind your minds a little bit. Back to this bit when Betty comes in and is like, I think she doesn't say there's something wrong with the princess. I think she says the princess is missing, right? Forgot about this. The princess is missing. That's why no one can find her, and that's why Simeon finds her, because he knows that last time she wanted time by herself, she went to the telescope. So yeah, we've just been told the princess is missing. Oh my god, where is she? Panic, bad, all these sorts of things. And everyone goes and runs off to try and find the princess. And James runs off and goes to the theatre district of the city to see if he can find the princess there. Maybe she took in a show. Lindblom, it should be specified, much like Alexandria, is very much in the process of being rebuilt right now, what with being eaten. Do you remember that bit of the story when Lindblom got eaten? Yes. A big summon came along with a massive mouth and just sucked up half the population and most of the buildings. Slight exaggeration, but there are a lot of people. But who should he stumble across? That's better. As an oops! Like a boba tea. Exactly. The original name for the city was Lindboba. How are you doing, Uben? Having a good time? No idea what's going on with this drawing. Yeah, right? Nice. How are you doobs? This is certainly one of the drawings that happened. Nah, you know. Anyway, this weird made in China, the counterfeit knockoff James, goes to the theatre district and discovers, repairing their building, the Tantalus crew, because they live here. They're a theatre troupe, quote unquote. Yeah, it's their home. You can come here earlier in the game and pick up some stuff. I think you have to, actually. But, this was while everyone was still in the forest, so no one's there at the time. But now they're here, and they're repairing their home. And James turns up and he's like, "What are you lot doing here?" And they're like, "We live here." "What are you doing here?" Anyway, James is like, "Are you sure you're not up to no good? Have you kidnapped the princess again? The princess has gone missing. I blame you." And they're like, "Nope, wasn't us." "Wait, you say the princess is missing?" I say, "Yes, gone missing from the castle." And Durgan's like, "Right, cool, we can sort this out. If she's nearby, we'll find her. You, Alexander, you go there. March over here." What's the other person's name? Alexander, march. Banana Min. Yeah, there we go. See, you guys have memories. Yeah, it's like, "Alexander, you search this place, and March, you go over here. Banana Min, you search here. You Gimp Hippos, what were they called?" Panky and Panky, what were they called? Hang on, let me. Or that. These two guys, what are they called? I gave them a name. Also, there's a whole family of them. Not just those two. Oh, there's stuff going on. Literally in the first stream, no wonder I don't remember. Safe Word and Zippy, that's what we call them. Apparently. I got Zippo, that was close. Anyway, Safe Word and Zippy, they're here as well, and they're gonna help. And everyone goes running off to try and find the princess, and Bobblehead James. Bobblehead James, basically, Bobblehead James gets a little bit of appreciation. He's like, "Oh, maybe they're not such bad guys after all. I didn't even ask them to help find the princess. They just sort of went off and did it." Yay, they're the good guys. Anyway, yes, so that happens. Etc, etc. That's what I'm drawing of this scene. Yeah, I just thought it was nice. Thought it was nice. James has a little bit of a moment of like, "Oh, okay. Thanks." Learn humility, James. They are noble. They have loyalty. They work for the good, for the greater good. Okay, where were we? Yes. Okay. So the king wants to make a potion to turn him back into a human. So we go on this little side quest, running around trying to find ingredients for the potion. You find them around. While this is happening, There's a whole cutscene with this that's kind of like a little silly comedy thing, but I'm just going to summarize it basically by a Lindblom soldier by the docks. Catches a whopper. Yeah, Quimch is like unconscious, and like there's a couple of soldiers that are like, "Hey, Captain, do you know what's going on here?" And the captain's like, "Yes, I know. I'm an expert in medicine, and this thing is definitely dead." And they turn around and have the conversation of like, "These are the things I know about medicine." And while he's talking, Quimch gets up and just like walks behind him and is like, "Can I eat you?" But anyway, Quimch is fine. Can't kill Quimch. But hey, Quimch found something to eat. It was bait, but found something to eat. Also, I imagine Quimch is quite light. They're a mushroom. Fungi aren't very heavy. Quimch is the best. So Quimch is fine. Quimch has yet again managed to move from one city to another via peculiar means. This time jumping into the water and being fished. Also got a big guard. Let me adjust the sizes here. Well, no. Perfect. Right, so we run around and we get this potion. And we make it and we mix it. And let's do a little transformation animatic. We make this potion from folklore that is said to dispel adverse magical effects. Fun guys are known for being light-hearted. Haha. Might also cry laughing over a scene that happens a little bit too, possibly also involving Quimch. Look, I'm gonna clear Quimch's name here. I'm with Quimch. Not that one, afterwards. And they're about to leave. Ah, my brain is misfiring. You're gonna have to prompt me, I'm afraid. Yes, no, yes, I do know what you're on about. Yes. It is as a consequence of this scene. But anyway, yes, so little Oglop King. How's the drinky? And kapoof! Kablam! Big magical explosion! Ha ha! He transforms! So the king's now a frog. Broccoli cloud. Yeah, so it didn't work. I mean, it transformed him. It's not an Oglop anymore. But it's a frog. This displeases the king. And dramatic music happens. And this, if you've ever looked at the titles of the music that I made for this, these streams, I know you can't see them here, but you can see them on the title screen. If you've ever heard a piece of music called The Frog King, yeah. It's an improvement, but not the one they wanted. Exactly. So yeah, he's like, right, screw this, we're not making an airship, I'm a frog now. No more potions, none of this shenanigans. We need to do something. What can we do? Does he make a squelch noise if we punting? He starts ribbiting rather than going glop or whatever it is that Oglops. It's a Gwok. But yeah, Oglops make the Gwok onomatopoeia. But now he starts ribbiting. I don't think there's any punting going on. Well, maybe. We could probably fit it in somewhere. It's very dramatic music happening. Shush. Oh look, Frog King. This is proof. There you go, Frog King. So yeah, oh, that's right. Yes. So what do we do now? Princess can't speak. King's a frog. And we don't have an airship. We do have one piece of information, though. I can speak. I know consonants. Some of my best friends are consonants. We have a piece of intel, which is that Mr. Swan was seen flying away from the scene of the crime on the Girl Boss 1. If you recall, the Girl Boss was the... Girl Boss is the name of the king's wife, who stole the airship and called the Girl Boss after turning the king into the Old Glop for infidelity reasons. So precisely why Mr. Swan has the Girl Boss 1, we don't know. But another thing that was observed was that the airship was staffed by black mages. Which is not unusual, given that, you know, Mr. Swan was the one who made the black mages. However, those black mages were heard talking. And the only black mages we know of that were heard talking were the ones from the village. And Vivi's like, no, that's not right. He's like, they wouldn't help him. Why are they helping him? They shouldn't be helping. Why are they helping him? And he gets very mad and upset. So our next port of call is the port. After which, we intend to go to the Black Mage village and try and work out what's going on. Why, you know, is it them? Or is it just another bunch of black mages who happen to speak, or whatever? It's the only lead we got, really. But also, Vivi just wants to know what's going on. I was like, why would they? It's not going to be them. Why would it be them? Why would they help him? That doesn't make any sense. They're nice. They ran away from all this. They just wanted to live a peaceful life. Why are they doing this? And he gets very upset. He shakes his fists. He doesn't shake his fist. He does like a kind of little stompy stampy tantrum. Little baby is upset. The nice friends he made, why are they being mean? He should light them up. Yeah, this is Vivi's villain arc. He turns into the next Black Waltz and destroys them all. No, that doesn't. Set some fires, baby Vivi. But if this music's anything to go by, he's just doing the river dance. So anyway, it is decided that we will go to the port. We will take a sea ship and go and visit the Black Mages in their village. Now that we know where they are, roughly, because we put it on the map. And the last thing I'll draw for today. Actually, I will copy from a previous things before that. After that. Is it as an old grandma selling pickles on the streets of Lindblom. And one of the things that anybody will tell you about these pickles is that, boy howdy, do they smell. Very, very strong smell. Stole a lady's finger, then died. Typical Ringo. And when there's food with a strong smell, very stimky, but also apparently very tasty. If it's an acquired taste, but very good one if you like it. Gwimch, immediately after being fished out, goes, "Ooh, what are these? These look tasty." And the old lady's like, "Yeah, they're very tasty," and says, verbatim. Almost, I probably won't remember the exact wording, but this is basically the gist. She says, not everyone likes the taste of these things, but you can always try one just to be sure. She says, go ahead, try one. And Quimch, never passing up an offer of free food, I know how hands work. Goes, yeah. Take her up on the offer, exactly. Miss, what are you implying with that comment? Nothing. Anyway, so Quimch naturally tries one in a cutscene. We then later, after we can wander around and we can pick Quimch back up. They'll arrive in the boat anyway. But we can come here and see that the old lady is very angry. And Quimch is like, what did I do? What did I do? And the old lady is like, oh, what are you doing? This, the thing. They need to pay. And Quimch is like, you said I could have one. When she said you could always try one, what she meant was you could always buy one and then eat it. She didn't actually mean you could have one for free. Now, I would argue Quimch has a case here. Because I absolutely would have come away from that thinking, oh, yeah, I can try one, can I? Get a free one. No, this lady's like, this thing. Yeah, Quimch definitely has a case. Like, Quimch, absolutely, their hunger gets the better of them in many cases. But in this particular instance, Quimch is in the right. Somebody's worked in retail, that wording? Bad wording. Anyway, Simeon comes along, pays for the pickle, and we go to the boat. Atrocious lady, exactly. Quimch is not wrong, she's a terrible saleswoman. Exactly, it's a scam. Trying to scam Quimch. If someone tells you to try something, that means it's free. Exactly. Anyway, so we rescue Quimch from this financial issue. We need to give Quimch pocket money. I think we could avoid all of this by giving Quimch pocket money. How dare someone scam Quimch? I know. This lady's gonna come home and find all of her food eaten. Including some of the furniture. So, we're gonna get on a boat. Something happens on the boat before we leave, but we'll do that next time. There's also a weird thing that happens on the boat with regards as to who's on it, but we'll get there. And her pets and her children and half of her husband. The left half. But ye, that will be all. Swoosh on this episode of The Adventures of Quimch. We will be back with this next week for more Adventures of Quimch. Thanks for the good. Thank you. This is Quimch's game now, exactly. You will like an event later in the game with regards to Quimch. But yeah, anyway. So yeah, that's the thing. It's the thing. So just so we know, Final Fantasy IX, The Legends of Quimch. I would play a version of Final Fantasy IX that's all from the perspective of Quimch. But ye. So yeah, just so you know, on Tuesday next week, we're going to be starting Spooky Season games. And through October, Wednesdays are going to be also Spooky Season games, so we're not going to be having the Drawthrough on the Wednesdays. However, we will be doing next Wednesday for the Drawthrough because this is a weird place to leave off. So we will be doing a Drawthrough next week, but throughout October, that's going to go on pause. Chat on screen's broken. It did that when I loaded it up. There was a big error screen. Streamlabs is having a time. I think Streamlabs is just having a time. Oops, all Spooky Season. With a brand new game, fresh off the dusty top shelf, exactly. I am refreshing the cache of the chat on stream to see if it's going to fix it, but... Nope, Streamlabs just dead. Cool, okay. Oops, all spooky. Spookums. I also think the Saturday ones will suddenly become spooky games too. It's if Dark wills it. No tests. Come on. Yeah, I opened up OBS and there was just a big error there. Streamlabs going, we can't seem to connect to things. It's like, one thing you need to do is connect the things. My bot's working, so the Twitch API is working. This is a Streamlabs issue. Darn them! I could forward the deliveries if people want. I don't mind. It's just, things. Yeah, I remember that. That was Valheim. Yeah, whatever you feel like, Doc. You do you. I like the season to start in October. I'm just starting games early because A, I've got a lot of games I want to play, and B, we've got a stream in lieu. Oh, not in lieu. A stream between now and the start of October. Those two quotes go together, I feel. Even when I know what I'm doing, I don't know what I'm doing. Also, whatever that... Ooh! 'Tis the season. Will I be doing Crimnus games? I don't have any Crimnus game. Do I have Crimnus games? I'll look to see if we've got any Crimnus games. Probably not Crimnus, but like snow. If there's snow in it, it counts, right? Final Fantasy VII, Crimnus game. Dark Souls 3, DLC, Crimnus. Metal Gear Solid, Crimnus. Most of the RPGs you play, Crimnus. Train game, Crimnus. Train game is peak Crimnus. That actually has Crimnus things in it. Train game! Train game is our standard New Year stream. When is New Year's Day? Not this year, next year. Monday, that's annoying. Oh, and Sunday will be New Year's Eve, so I don't know if anyone's going to come to that stream, but... Parts of the Pokemon games? Crimnus. Fahrenheit Indigo Prophecy? Okay, we'll stop that. Co-op Spooks begin on the 30th because the month starts on a Sunday, which is stupid, the least spooky day. That game doesn't exist. They miss. They're giving us the gift of unwashed hands. And autistic children. Until Dawn, another Crimnus game, yeah. A lot of horror games in the snow. Silent Hill Shattered Memories. Colat. Skyrim? Peak Christmas. That's got snow and also like warm fires. Great. Oh, stop glitching graphics tablet. You have much more to do. Valheim, of course. Valheim's very Christmassy. Sorry, Crimnusy. Remember, everybody, there's only 94 sleeps till Christmas. I don't know how many sleeps there's, but something like that. Every time that quote comes up, I'm like, what? How do you make sense of any of that? A second sense, along with the other four, I guess. What, does that four include the first? L'Oreal, because you're worthless. Was that a Hazel thing? Why did Christy say that? It records all the crimes, but none of the context. Trying to say I have a sixth sense, obviously. Right, okay. Oh, she meant to say shine, okay. Oh, I forgot about that. This is a typo. No typos. Everything everybody types is deliberate. I take it all literally. Mushroom birth alien babies? No. Speaking of mushrooms birthing alien babies, tomorrow is the Jibby Nether's Day time. I have no idea if mushrooms or if the alien babies are going to be involved in that, but I'm assuming that quote came from a Jibby Nether's Day. Oh, this is the abomination one again. We have a repeat, everybody. Burn the bot. No. So yes, I'll be back tomorrow morning to probably doodle a parsnip for spooky season, and then when I'm done with that, probably start work on a October drawing. I have decided to go the route of Cheeb, because of course Cheeb is both smart and a trendsetter, and do a little bit of October stuff on stream. I will only do my characters so that there's no like ruined surprise or anything. But I need to get these things done. So I've spoke to the bats and they'll deliver the games early. We put it the day before so we can install them. Nice. Tried to get up and then died. Mood, you're a trendsetter. Exactly. So yeah, I'll probably start work on a little October thing tomorrow morning, and also work on a parsnip before spook season. See if you can guess the game that we're going to play from it. You probably won't, because why would you? It's a brand new game, I mean. It's not 20 years old. Not yet, anyway. Might be when we play it. But yes, so we got that. We then have, TV Nether's Day, standard Friday shenanigans, Patreon hangouts and such. Saturday morning, some more music, probably carrying on with Chaos Chess music. And Saturday evening is Wildermyth. Not Wildermyth. War Tales, that's the one. It's begun with a W. Going back to the Gonomeleggies and all that. Did a stupid thing and died. That's just the... I need to remove that quote. Because if that keeps coming up, people are going to realize that's just all I do on stream. The quote could be literally any game. Exactly. So yeah, all these things are happening and more. And ball. Ball. A very relevant quote. It's relevant. Lily Revelant. Oh! Oh yeah, we need to work out another game Jeeb and I can play in Dutch. We could do that time travel portal mod. They'll probably have to wait until after spooky season, which will probably carry on into November because I'm like that. We were here. Oh god, we were here like time-based communication bus. Those games were made by a Dutch company, so maybe it has like native Dutch. I'll have to learn how to tell time properly. No. I can already tell time properly. But yeah, we'll come up with something. So I've been trying to stifle a yawn for ages, and it finally I gave up. I'd have to learn how to tell time. No. No. Escape room simulator, whatever that one's called. Might be an idea. I don't know. There are many co-op games. What we could do. Hey, March. This is correct. There is no quote saying that Miss is correct on all counts. We can't use that argument here. Piku Niku, is that a co-op? A co-op Sudoku game. Hey Chief, do you like Sudoku? You're correct and you said Miss is correct. Oh. I'll get to the transitive property. As a co-op mode. Interesting. Not enough to do it an entire stream. We'll work something out. Shenanigans will happen, and hopefully I know a little bit more. Well, I can read more. Whether or not I can actually conjure sentences. It's a very different matter. Good shenanigans. We will have shenanigans. Gosh darn it. Anyway. Battleblock Theatre? I have that. I did play that. You're just thinking of car puzzle games. We'll work something out. Anyway, I'm going to leave now. Have a lovely time, everybody. See you at the Jeep stream. Bye. 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 Thanks for being here. Bye.